In this video, we are going over soccer basics for beginners, more specifically positioning and movement and creating space, things of this nature. Now, we're going over this in general. We're not really focusing on one position or another. However, this will apply more to attacking players, I feel, than defensive players. So just keep that in mind. Let's get right into it. So I think the most important thing, or at least the first thing to keep in mind, is a lot of your movement, positioning, and creating space is going to come down to your awareness. You know, to be able to know what space to move into or which pass to make or anything of that nature, you need to know what's going on around you. So ask these 3 questions before you do anything. So now you're not going to ask these questions in the moment when you're in the game, but you need to be used to answering these questions in a split second when any situation arises. So the first one is, what's around you? You need to know where your teammates are, where the opposition is, and where the space is. And you need to constantly ask this of yourself because the space is always changing, the position of different players is always changing. So you need to be looking up all the time and just kind of instinctually thinking, what is going on around me? Where's the position of the opposition defenders? Where are my players on my team? And where is the space? The second thing is exactly that. Where is the space? I'm going to add to that a little bit and say, where is the space going to be if this, or that happens? So you don't only want to think of and look for where is the space right now, you also want to anticipate where the space is going to open up if A, B, or C happens. So for example, if one of your players checks in towards the ball, what is going to open up? If the ball is switched to the other side and a certain teammate makes a run, where's the space going to open up? It's not only enough to know where the space is currently in that moment, because the space and what's available is going to change all the time. Anticipate not only where the space is right now, but where it's going to be. And the third thing is really always consider, where can I do the most damage? In what position or what space can I occupy? What run can I make in order to do the most damage to the opposition? And now when I'm saying this, I'm not only talking about you receiving the ball. Is there a way you can draw a defender out of position so one of your teammates has an advantage, for example? So always think of those 3 things, and just remember that your awareness is so important when it comes to positioning, movement, and runs, because you really need to know what's going on around you, because if you don't, even if you get the ball, you're not going to really know what to do with it. Next is you then need to find or create space. So the first thing I always look for is, where are the pockets of space? Now this applies usually more to an attacking midfield type player who's in between the defense and the midfield of the opposition, but this can apply for other positions as well, especially if you're trying to receive the ball. Where are those pockets of space where you're going to have a few seconds or a second or two to control the ball and make a decision? You know, again, you should already know what's around you, so you should be able to make decisions in an instant, but you want to be able to find those pockets of space where a defender's not going to be right up on you immediately. So look out for those pockets of space. The next thing is you need to keep moving. No player is easier to defend than a stagnant, non-moving player. If you're just staying in the same place, you're very easy to defend for the most part. So if you make a run and it doesn't work, keep going. If you check into space and no one finds you, that's okay. Do it again. You know, keep moving, because the more you move around, the more you're being a nuisance, the more damage to the opposition you'll be making. Next thing I want to recommend is draw defenders out. Like I already mentioned, it's not all about you getting the ball. Sometimes you'll need to be the distraction, or you'll need to be the person who creates space with a run. If you think of an overlapping run, for example, sometimes you won't get the ball, but you will allow your teammate to then cut inside, because the defender now has to worry about not only him, but you as well. So make sure you're also looking to draw defenders out and create space for your teammates and not just yourself. So I was actually going to go over some examples of some runs that you can make in order to create space or to make sure you have space when you receive the ball, but it would make the video way too long. So if you want, I will make a part 2 to this video where I'll go over different runs and give you examples of those runs that you can perform in order to create space, to find space, to create space for your teammates, and so on. So let me know if you want that in the comments. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it makes sense to you. These are just kind of the basics to kind of movement and getting in the positions that are going to allow you to receive the ball or give space to your teammates. Please share it if you got something out of it. That's what helps the channel to grow, and that shows your support to the channel by sharing the videos. I will have 2 videos come up on the screen so you can continue to watch and learn and become a better player. And as always, I will speak to you in the next video.